You know that feeling? That 2 p.m. wall that just hits you out of nowhere? The one that has you grabbing another coffee, knowing you're just setting yourself up for an even bigger crash later on? Well, today we're going to dive into a much smarter way to power your day. In this explainer, we're breaking down how you can swap that coffee roller coaster for smooth, sustained energy using herbal teas, all based on the amazing work of herbal beverage specialist Vicky Miley. Wow, this quote from Vicky just says it all, doesn't it? It's this vicious cycle so many of us are trapped in. We just keep pouring more and more caffeine into our system, just trying to chase that feeling of being normal. But by the end of the day, we're just spent. It's a daily fight for energy that, let's be honest, a lot of us are losing. Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it does. That whole wired but tired feeling, just running on fumes and kind of dreading that moment the caffeine wears off, that right there is the problem we're going to solve today. So, what's the alternative? Well, it's about a fundamental shift in how we think about energy. Instead of just looking for the next jolt, the next stimulant to shock our system in action, the idea here is to actually nourish our bodies so they can create their own sustainable vitality. Think of it like this. On one hand, you've got coffee. It gives you that massive, sharp spike of energy, for sure. But it's really just a short-term loan that your body has to pay back later with interest in the form of a crash. On the other hand, you have herbal teas. They're all about sustained vitality. They work with your body to give you a nice, steady stream of energy. No crash. So what's tea's secret weapon? It's this amazing little amino acid called L-theanine. It works together with caffeine, kind of smoothing out all the rough edges. It dials down the jitters and gives you what experts call calm alertness. It's the reason tea can make you feel super focused and energized, but not like you're about to bounce off the walls. All right, let's start building our toolkit. We'll begin with some options for those of us who still want that caffeinated kick in the morning. These teas give you that lift you're used to, but in a much, much smarter way. And you can see right here how they stack up. A typical cup of coffee clocks in around 105 milligrams of caffeine. But look at Assam black tea. It's right up there, giving you a really powerful boost. And remember, it comes packaged with that L-theanine we just talked about, so it's a way smoother ride. And then green tea offers a gentler option for later in the day. So here's your caffeinated lineup. For that strong get-up-and-go start to your day, you've got black tea. For a more gentle, sustained energy in the afternoon, there's green tea or its superpowered cousin, matcha. And then you've got this really interesting option, Yerba Mate, a South American brew that's fantastic for focus. But what if you want energy without any caffeine at all? Okay, now this is where the world of herbal teas gets really, really cool. Let's dive into some of the caffeine-free powerhouses that work in a completely different and frankly fascinating way. The magic here is in a special category of plants called adaptogens. These things are incredible. Instead of just stimulating you, they actually help your body adapt to stress and manage it better. And since stress is one of the biggest energy vampires out there, adaptogens like ginseng and holy basil are actually fighting fatigue at the source, building up your resilience for real, lasting energy. And what's so amazing is you can target the exact type of energy you need. Feeling kind of sluggish and bloated after lunch? Peppermint and ginger can help with digestive energy. Feeling totally run down? Nettle and lemon are packed with minerals for nutritive energy. Got a big project and need to sharpen your focus? Rosemary and orange can give you a real cognitive boost. Okay, so you've picked out your tea. Awesome, but how you brew it makes a huge difference. Now that we know what to drink, let's get into how to prepare it so you can unlock every last drop of its energizing power. And the best part is, the process is beautifully simple. It's basically the same 4 steps for almost any tea. You heat your water, you add your tea, you cover it while it steeps. This is key, it traps all the good stuff in. And then you strain it. That's it. 4 easy steps to a perfect cup. Now, to really nail it, you have to remember that temperature and time are everything. For black teas and most herbals, you'll want fully boiling water to get everything out. But, and this is super important for green tea, you have to let the water cool down a bit first. If it's too hot, you'll literally burn the delicate leaves, and you'll end up with a bitter cup instead of that smooth, energizing flavor you want. And hey, here's a little pro tip for you. On those mornings when you need an extra push, just let your black or green tea steep for a bit longer, maybe up to a full 5 minutes. That'll pull more caffeine out of the leaves. Just know that it might also make the flavor a little stronger, so you can play around and find what works for you.
Now, we've got to talk about safety for a second. It's really important to be mindful of how much caffeine you're getting in a day. The FDA recommends that most healthy adults should try to stay under 400 milligrams. That's roughly 4 cups of a strong black tea. It's just a good number to keep in the back of your head as you think about everything you're consuming: coffee, tea, even chocolate. So just a couple of quick rules of the road to help you out. The biggest one, try to cut off all caffeine after 2 p.m. Seriously, this is all about protecting your sleep quality, and good sleep is the real foundation for all-day energy. And of course, it goes without saying, if you're pregnant, nursing, or have any health conditions, it's always smart to talk to your doctor first.
Okay, let's put this all together into a real-world plan. We've talked about the why, the what, and the how. So now let's actually build a daily practice that can give you clean, reliable energy from the moment you wake up till your head hits the pillow. Here is a perfect example from our expert, Vicky Miley. You can see she starts her day strong, between 6 and 8 a.m., with a black tea for that focused boost. Then, around 1 or 2 p.m., right when that afternoon slump usually hits, she goes for something gentler, like a green tea or yerba mate. And then, in the early evening, she switches to a caffeine-free adaptogen, like ginseng, to help her body recover without messing with her sleep. And this might be the most important takeaway of all. The energy doesn't just come from the tea itself. It comes from the ritual, the simple act of slowing down, boiling the water, breathing in the steam, and just mindfully sipping your tea. That creates a moment of pause in your day. It's a mental reset that can be just as energizing as any of the stuff in the leaves. So at the end of the day, the choice is yours. You can keep riding that caffeine roller coaster with all its crazy highs and inevitable lows, or you can try this more nourishing, sustainable path. So what do you think? Are you ready to trade that daily crash for a feeling of calm, focused, all-day energy?